I don't know why more people aren't talking about this, but as we've seen, the FBI and NSA now are fully controlled by Trump. And that doesn't mean that he just runs the government and the people under it. It means that they are in lockstep with him and there's no independence. And that means that our privacy is seriously under attack. And I'm worried that you or I could be spied on using the tools that are already available to them. So let's just go through some of that because I don't think anyone is really talking about this. First off, let me talk to you about what FISA is and Section 702 of FISA, which sounds really in the weeds, but let me just give you this quote here from someone that explains it very well. It's argued that Americans shouldn't be forced to choose between security and liberty, saying that the Patriot Act and FISA have been allowing for the abuses of our civil liberties and overreach by our own intelligence and law enforcement agencies through doing things like warrantless sweeping collection of our data, violating our Fourth Amendment constitutional rights. All right, that's a pretty blatant description of what FISA and Section 702 are and how they're used to spy on foreigners and Americans. And guess who said that? Miss Tulsi Gabbard. But you know why I'm telling you this is that was her position in 2020. And she's completely flipped it now that she is the director of national intelligence. Now she says President-elect Donald Trump's pick for director of national intelligence announced on Friday her support for government surveillance authority. She is previously critical, like I said, as a member of Congress, and she actually voted against the reauthorization of a key surveillance bill in 2020 and her last year in Congress. And so the question is, like, what does these tools allow the government to do? Well, I've got something here for you. Most foreign intelligence agencies like the NSA and CIA are nominally barred from spying on U.S. citizens or anyone in the USA, but still end up collecting their data thanks to Section 702. This data is then compiled into one massive searchable database. The FBI can search 702 data, giving it access to data it would normally not need a warrant for, and deploy national security letters that force organizations to give up limited info on their clients. And the FBI, DHS agencies, which include Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Customs and Border Protection and local law enforcement, can all use geofencing, buy data from data brokers, and monitor social media to spy on you. Before we continue, I want to quickly tell you about today's sponsor, Proton Mail. Proton Mail is an email platform with end-to-end zero-access encryption, meaning the company can't scan or access your emails, unlike big-name providers. It's completely free and ad-free, so you're not paying with your data. Plus, it's based in Switzerland, where strict privacy laws protect your emails from government requests. Proton Mail is also open source and independently audited, proving their security claims. It's the only encrypted email platform offering this level of transparency. With Proton Mail, companies can't track you through hidden email trackers, and it also syncs with Proton's encrypted calendar, cloud storage, and more. I'm partnering with Proton Mail because it's a trusted name in online privacy, which now is more crucial than ever. Sign up for free at proton.me/Keith. You can import all your emails and contacts in one click. Link in the description. Thank you so much to Proton Mail for sponsoring this video. And the US government has recognized that they can't do this alone, and it's actually, they're in lockstep with big tech. That means Meta, Google, any social media platform, even here on YouTube. Let me explain. The US government recognized that big tech and social media companies rely upon the endless surveillance of everyone, and they're incredibly good at it. Except for TikTok, nearly all big tech and social media platforms are American. That means that they have to submit to Section 702 requests and national security letters. So I'm hoping this all makes sense to you. Essentially, what the things that you do online, if they're not encrypted, can be spied on, can be collected by our government, and can be used against you. That is one of the ways in which the government has been disappearing people. Now, this is a little different, but it's still a warrantless arrest. And what we're talking about here is warrantless surveillance. So here is a visa citizen being arrested by unmarked cops en masse, not told why she's being detained. Okay, so if they're doing this in public, what do you think they're doing in private?